Okay, first things first. I cut my own hair. You probably can't even tell. But tell me what you think. Second of all, Shani, IKEA furniture is beautiful and wonderful. As for my personal hell, the most compelling description I've ever come across is Neil Gaiman's. Staring at a blank computer screen without being able to think of a single believable character, a single original story, or a single thing worth saying. Staring at that screen forever. That's what hell is for a writer. I handed in the first draft of my thesis proposal today. I'm kind of having one of those moments where this is the time that they find out that I've just been making it up and I'm not really a responsible adult. I don't usually worry very much about growing up or being an adult. As far as I can tell, the main difference between childhood and adulthood is you make more trips to the store, you fill a lot more forms. That's about it, really. But I have to say there are some things that I thought I would have, a better grasp of by the time I was the age I am now. And some of those things I've got, taxes. Government sent me this letter saying I did my taxes right. But some of the things I'm still no closer to getting them than I was when I was 11. Like the financial sector. I read this book last summer, I think it was called The Ascent of Money. My dad lent it to me. He says, "This is really interesting, you should read this." I'm about 3/4 of the way through. My dad says, "Oh, you're still reading that?" I said, "Yeah, you gave it to me to read." He goes, "Yeah, I tried to read it, but I got bored halfway through, so I just stopped." I understood probably the first half, which was the early history of currency and banking, but once it got into things like banks selling derivatives, I just don't understand. Making small talk, I've never really mastered that. I've never really even, become a journeyman in small talk. I'm still apprenticed. I was walking down the street a little while ago and I came to a crosswalk and I stopped and waited for the crosswalk sign to go because I'm a law-abiding citizen. And there was this old man, he looked like he was about 70, standing sort of just back from the crosswalk in the shade of this tree. And he looked very, just an average old man. And so I was waiting for the crosswalk and we both just stood there for a little while, but then he kind of struck up a conversation and, he told me that he was just waiting for his wife. He'd been at work and he was waiting for his wife and they were going to go home. And he asked me how I was and blah, blah, blah. And so I was kind of coming to the extent of my small talk capabilities, but the light was about to change, so I figured that was alright. I'd be fine. These are the kinds of things I think about while I talk to people. Probably why I'm bad at small talk. But all of a sudden, he starts telling me that if I ever get an apartment, I should make sure to get the ground floor. It's not good. It's not good for you to live, up on the top floors of these high-rise apartments because you're too far away from the magnets in the earth. He seemed quite concerned about my health. I quite liked him. There's also simpler things, like how to spell exercise. No, it doesn't seem... I don't know. But for the most part, I think I'm doing okay. Hopefully, my thesis supervisor agrees. I'm eating some salad for lunch today because responsible adults eat their greens.